What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, October 13th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 7:02 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. I wanted to give you the latest information on the war in the Middle East. So, right now, we have a presidential Doomsday plane flying over the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it just took off from Wright-Patterson Airfield in Dayton, Ohio. And we also have a nuclear war command and control plane up in the air over Northern California that just took off from Travis Air Force Base. So, both of these planes are airborne right now at the same time. They both took off from their respective bases at the same time, okay, which means that, our nuclear forces are on high alert, basically. So the presidential Doomsday plane is for the president. The president of the United States can command the entire U.S. nuclear arsenal from this plane and the entire U.S. armed forces. So it's flying right over the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here by Lake Superior. It's been up here for the last probably hour or so. And we're getting some information coming in now that the ground invasion of Gaza is going to start probably any hour now. So it would make sense for the U.S. nuclear forces to get prepared in case things escalate, in case Iran tries to do something silly. And this is the Nuclear War Command and Control plane. This is a Boeing E-6B Mercury, also known as a Takamo plane. This plane can remotely launch all of our silo-based ICBMs, and it can also communicate with our nuclear-armed submarines and our nuclear bomber force. These planes are responsible for transmitting nuclear attack options and nuclear launch orders, okay, which are known as emergency war orders, okay. If the president were to give the orders to launch, these planes would be responsible for transmitting some of those orders, especially if there were a situation where enemy missiles destroyed some of our fixed ground-based transmitter sites. One of them is in Jim Creek, Washington. The other one is in Cutler, Maine. So this is very concerning, guys. To have both of these planes airborne on a Friday night is pretty unusual, okay? So something could be going down in the coming hours, okay? Before I continue with the breaking news, I just want to share something very important. Here's my buddy Avi. He's a police officer in Israel, and he actually set me up with the Ukraine winter survival workshop that I did to help Ukrainians prepare for the winter last year. And he's a great guy, and he's trying to raise money for a private security force inside of Israel that would basically be composed of volunteers, and they would basically patrol the cities inside of Israel. But there's a lot of terrorists inside of Israel that actually live in Israel. They're like sleeper agents, basically. So they need a volunteer security force to protect their cities and protect their neighborhoods. And so he's trying to raise money for that. They need various types of tactical gear. So I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel. And underneath his latest video, he leaves all of the different ways that you can donate to his cause. And it is a legitimate organization. It's a 501(c)(3 charity, okay, nonprofit. And I can vouch for him. He is a solid guy. You know, he's not a crook by any means. He's a family man. He's a police officer. And so they're trying to just raise money for tactical gear. Just think of anything you would need if you were making a security force, okay? I'm going to pin the link in the comments section, and I'm also going to leave it under the video itself. So I want to just get into the latest breaking news coming from Israel. The situation is continuing to get more and more intense. So Politico is saying that Israel's ground invasion of Gaza is imminent, and they cited two Israeli officials, and the Israeli officials were granted anonymity to discuss sensitive military plans, and they said that the evacuation order that was issued by the Israeli government was designed to save as many Palestinian lives as possible ahead of the ground invasion. But the reason why they settled on only a 24-hour time frame for the evacuation was because otherwise Hamas would have more time to prepare for this invasion. If they gave them, like, a week to get out of Gaza, it would give Hamas a lot of time to prepare for the invasion and booby trap things and set up defensive positions. Okay. So that's why they're giving a short window of time, only 24 hours. Okay. So two Israeli officials stating that the ground invasion of Gaza is imminent. And this is being reported by Politico. The Financial Times is reporting that there is very little confidence in Western capitals that Israel will listen to calls for restraint, and that Israeli officials think they are fighting for the survival of the state. Okay, so that's what the Financial Times is reporting. Western capitals don't think Israel is going to be able to restrain themselves. Okay. And, like I said, guys, the Samson option, okay, if Iran starts attacking Israel, Syria, Lebanon, even Jordan, whatever, Egypt, if they start attacking Israel on multiple sides and the U.S. doesn't do enough to back up Israel and help them out, Israel has the Samson option, which involves the use of nuclear weapons, okay? And they almost used the Samson option in 1973 during the Yom Kippur War. They put 12 atomic bombs on high alert because the Arabs were closing in on Israel, and Israel was running out of weapons and equipment, and so they put their missiles on high alert, or their bombs on high alert. And then the Nixon administration stepped in and gave Israel everything they needed, and so they canceled the preparation for the Samson option, but they almost used it. Okay. Putin said that a ground operation carried out by Israel in Gaza will seriously hamper the relationship between Russia and Israel. Okay, so that just tells you whose side Putin is on. Okay, Putin is not on Israel's side. Okay, he is on the side of the Palestinians and on the side of Iran. Okay, Syria, Lebanon. Okay, so Putin basically siding with the Palestinians. Okay, I'll read to you one more time what he said. A ground operation carried out by Israel in Gaza will seriously hamper the relationship between Russia and Israel. And, this goes to Bible prophecy, guys. Okay, in the New Testament, the Christian part of the Bible talks about the end times. And in the end times, there will be a massive attack on Israel, which will be led by Russia, okay, a massive coalition of Middle Eastern countries and North African countries and also even Asian countries. They're all going to attack Israel, and they're going to be led by Russia, okay? So I find it very interesting that Putin is siding with the Palestinians in this situation. Netanyahu made a quick 3-minute statement earlier this afternoon. I want to just read to you some of the most important things that he said. So I'm just going to read to you exactly what he said. He said, "We will never forget the horrific acts perpetrated by the enemy, and we will never forgive. We will not allow the world or anyone to forget these horrors, the likes of which the Jewish people have not endured in decades. We are pounding our enemies with unprecedented force, and I stress this is only the beginning. Our enemies have only just begun to pay the price. I will not detail our plans, but I will tell you this is only the beginning." All right, so some key words here that stuck out to me is that he said, "We will never forgive." Okay, so guys, the Israeli people have been pushed, pushed over the edge. Okay, Israel has been pushed over the edge. They've been dealing with Hamas for so many years. They've been dealing with all these terrorist attacks for so many years. The UN never did anything, and now they're just finally just fed up with it. You push somebody, or you push a people or a country too far, and then they snap. And once they snap, there's no going back. They're beyond the point of return. Okay, the Rubicon has been crossed, and Israel is going to go all out. All right, they want to completely wipe out Hamas, and it's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy campaign. It's going to be urban fighting, but what's going to happen is they're going to start pounding Gaza like never before. Once these Palestinian civilians leave, once that 24-hour window shuts, they're going to start pounding Gaza with heavy ordnance, okay? And then they're going to go with artillery, tanks, and then the ground troops are probably going to come in last, okay? But it could start any hour now, okay? Any hour. According to N12 in Israel, it's a news outlet, the IDF has instructed to double their airstrikes tomorrow. So that's pretty interesting. And Al Arabia is saying that the United States gave Israel the green light to confront any threat on any front and anywhere in the Middle East. We got to take that with a grain of salt, considering the source, Al Arabia. But it is possible that that's true. Iranian Foreign Minister Abdollahian is currently meeting with the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad in Damascus. Okay, so first the Iranian foreign minister went to Lebanon and he met with the leader of Hezbollah. Now he's going to Syria to meet with the president of Syria. You guys see how things are working out here? Okay, this axis of evil. All right, they're meeting and they're discussing contingency plans for this ground invasion of Gaza and how they're going to respond to it. That's what they're talking about, probably. How are they going to respond? How are they going to coordinate things? The optimistic side of me wants to think that Israel's just going to go in and clean house and it's going to be over. But I also don't think it's going to be that simple. I think Hezbollah is going to get involved. I think Syria is going to get involved. I think Iran is probably going to get involved. And then the U.S. is going to get involved. And then that's when things can really spiral out of control. Okay. The Middle East has so many world powers with a stake in it that it's just, it's just the best starting place for world war. Okay. We have information coming in that apparently some groups affiliated with the Iraqi Shiite Popular Mobilization Forces supported by Iran have already entered Lebanon through Syria. And apparently there's a large number of them present in the headquarters of the Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas militia in the Sayyida Zainab area in the Damascus countryside. All right, so these pro-Iranian militias in Iraq, these are Shiites, have moved into Lebanon through Syria, okay? And they're also currently present in the countryside around Damascus, okay? So this is very concerning, guys, okay? This is very concerning. Obviously, the Iranian foreign minister is not traveling to Syria and Lebanon, just to play a game of pool and BS and have a beer, okay? He's going there because they want to plan out a response to this Israeli invasion of Gaza, okay? Apparently, the U.S. aircraft carrier that was sent to Israel is now around 340 kilometers from the coast of Israel, which is basically the average distance required for U.S. fighter jets to launch if Israel faces a multi-front war. We're also getting some information that apparently carrier-based aircraft with troops on board from the USS Gerald R. Ford were noticed over the Eastern Mediterranean today. Okay, so, these fighter jets, helicopters, whatever they have on that carrier, they were flying in the air today, probably, starting up their engines, making sure everything works, just practicing just in case they have to do sorties over Lebanon or Syria or even Iran. Okay. Uh, we also have some breaking news that 2 U.S. warships have arrived in Greece. And what you're looking at here is a picture of those warships. We have the USS Roosevelt and the USS Thomas Hudner docked in Greece at the NATO Marathi Pier Complex. Apparently, they're refueling, and then they're going to join the carrier strike group that's right off the coast of Israel. Al Arabia is citing Israeli sources and is reporting that the Israeli War Council recommended the government prepare for a confrontation on the northern front with Lebanon. The IDF has confirmed they conducted localized raids in the Gaza Strip with infantry and armor to locate missing Israelis and to eliminate terrorists. Okay, so there was some kind of a limited raid in the Gaza Strip earlier today, probably like a special operations type raid. And U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said that the Pentagon is fully prepared to deploy its forces and assets in close proximity to Israel. And the first flight evacuating U.S. citizens from Israel has just departed and is en route to Europe. German airlines Lufthansa and Eurowings have suspended flights with Lebanon until at least October 16th. I'm sure they're going to extend that. We have pro-Palestine riots going on in Rome, Italy right now, and riot police have been deployed. Okay, I cannot show you videos of that, but it's really intense, the situation in Rome right now. So guys, get prepared. Things are really escalating very, very fast. This ground invasion is going to start any hour now. And that's when things can really get intense and things could really escalate. And Israel could be facing a multi-front war. And the U.S. has made it clear multiple times, okay, that they're not going to allow Israel's enemies to open up new fronts in this war and to basically attack Israel from behind while Israel is trying to defend itself and do a counterattack on Gaza. Biden made that clear. Lloyd Austin made it clear. I mean, I don't know how much more clear you can get, okay? They've said it over and over and over. The Secretary of State said, we will not allow Israel's enemies to take advantage. Lloyd Austin warned, Iran and Syria and Lebanon again today when he was in Israel, basically not to take advantage of the situation. And they wouldn't be moving a second aircraft carrier into the region for no reason, guys, okay? Second aircraft carrier, potentially a British aircraft carrier going to there. So it's a crazy situation, guys. And just wanted to mention one of my sponsors, which is My Patriot Supply. They sell emergency food, freeze-dried food, and they have a 3-month emergency food supply that you can get 25% off if you use the link in the description below this video, which is preparewithnYPrepper.com. So if you use my link, you get 25% off of My Patriot Supply's 3-month emergency food supply, which has a 25-year shelf life, okay? And then they also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which in my opinion is the absolute bare minimum that everybody should have. In the event of a nuclear war, you will have to shelter for 2 weeks while the radiation subsides, so you're going to need food. But even better, a 3-month emergency food supply is something that every American, every citizen of the free world should have. Okay, so use my link in the description below this video, 25% off the My Patriot Supply 3-month food supply. Other than that, guys, I'm going to continue to update you on the situation in Israel. I will be doing multiple updates a day as information comes in, so stay tuned to my channel for continuing updates. And that's pretty much it. Have a good night. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.